First off, congratulations.
Thank you,
Can you
thank you.
talk us through your playoff run and tell us the point where you thought that trophy right there may be yours?
Yeah, I felt like right after the draft, trophy was as good as mine. I managed to get some security on my buy-in, with some well-timed bets with Brian and Ben. But in my mind, though, that was kind of always going to be that cherry on top at the end of the season. But I think the turning point in the playoffs, it was that Stafford Robinson double dip. And I think that really showed the resilience that this group had, and that next guy up mentality that we bought into after J.K. went down in week one. And, we battled through a lot of adversity too in the postseason. Between Terry McCauley, and then Marcus's broken glasses on the drive home. In the second half of the noon slate, that was tough. But we all knew the standard that was set by this team, and it was something we had come to expect from ourselves, and that we really embraced whenever it seemed like this trophy was out of reach so early on in the season after that slow start.
Winley Schwartz, Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about the incident with fellow league member Brandon Munsilis?
Yeah.
And before you answer, I just want to say I think you would have beat him up had you swung back.
Well, first off, let me thank you for saying that. But there was a lot of built-up tension between us. Getting out the second half of the regular season went. I really felt like I stepped things up on the waiver wire to make a late playoff run, and I think that's somewhere he fell short. So I think all that just kind of boiled over that Saturday night, and I hold nothing against him though. I understand the immense amount of stress and pressure that's put on us team owners year in and year out to put a winning product on the field. When you don't do that, it can make you do some things you regret.
Now that you're the champion of the Win the Week Fantasy Football League, what's next for you?
Yeah, yeah. I'll let the guys enjoy this one. They earned some time to celebrate, but as far as I'm concerned, where my head's at right now, it's on the 2024 Win the Week Fantasy Football League Kentucky Derby Draft Lottery Selection Show. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the 2024 Win the Week Fantasy Football League Kentucky Derby Draft Lottery Selection Show. I'm your host and champion, Kenny Nowling, and tonight we will be going through a Kentucky Derby Draft Lottery selection that will determine the horse you will have in this year's Kentucky Derby, that will also determine your fate in this year's 2024 Win the Week Fantasy Football Draft. Starting out, we are going to be going with the horses from the worst odds to the best odds at the very end. And we have a strand of 20-1 horses starting us out. First up is Resilience, a bay-colored horse bred in Kentucky. If you don't know, a sire is the father of the horse and a dam is the mother of the horse. So the sire was Into Mischief, Dam, Meadow Street. Price tag, couldn't find it. Kind of sketchy, makes you think where this horse came from. Owned by Emily Bushnell and trained by Bill Mott, who's 1 for 12 in the Derby, but because of disqualification, and the jockey will be Junior Alvarado. The owner of this horse will be Joey Main, your champion of 2 years ago, will carry Resilience into the Kentucky Derby at 20-1. Next up, we have Stronghold, another 20-1 horse, a bay-colored Kentucky horse as well. Sire Ghost Sapper, Dam Spectator. Price tag, he is a homebred horse by the Walner family, and this is their first Derby along with trainer Philip Diamato and jockey Antonio Fresu, also his first Derby as well. The league member who will have Stronghold in this year's Derby is Brandon Munsilis, looking to bounce back after choking in a tragic manner in the last 2 weeks of the season to miss the playoffs. Hopefully Stronghold can get him in position to bounce back. Next up, we have Track Phantom, pretty cool name, another bay-colored horse from Kentucky. Sire, Quality Road, Dam, Miss Sunset. This was a $500,000 horse at the 2022 Keeneland September yearling sale. And owners Landon Racing by Lee Levinson bought that horse at that price. It is trained by Steve Asmussen. 0 for 25 in the Derby, and then jockey Joel Rosario, who's 1 for 12 in the Derby when he won with Orb in 2013. Track Phantom this year will belong to Ben Maynard. So both Maynards off the board at 20 to 1. Gonna be the underdogs to get that top pick. Track Phantom, you belong to Ben Maynard this year. Honor Marie is our next 20 to 1 horse. Another bay-colored Kentucky horse. Honor Code was the sire, and the dam was Dame Marie, so we combine those, and that's where we get Honor Marie. A very cheap horse, $40,000, again at the 2022 Keeneland September yearling sale. Where was I for that? I could have maybe put that money together to get me a Kentucky Derby horse. $40,000 for Alan Ribble, not a bad deal. Trained by Wick Beckman, his first Derby, along with... This horse has no chance. His jockey's name is Ben Curtis. Ben Curtis. There's no way a jockey named Ben Curtis wins. So let's see who's likely getting the last pick of the draft. It will be Sparrow. Pretty fitting. Notorious bottom feeder of the league will be riding Honor Marie into the draft. And I'll predict that will be the last pick. Up next, we have more 21s. Just Steel, another bay-colored horse from Kentucky. The sire, Justified Dam, Irish Lights, pretty fucking cool name. Price tag $500,000. The 2022 Keeneland September yearling sale again. Seems like half the field's been. I don't even know what that was. Owner BC Stables, John Bellinger and Brian Cole. This is their first Derby. Trainer Dwayne Lucas, 4 for 49 in the Derbies. Holy shit! How old is that guy? What is this? Dwayne, is that short? Is Dwayne? Dwayne Lucas. 49 Derbies. That's insane. And then Keith, wasn't there a trainer named Asmussen? So there's Steve Asmussen was the trainer of Track Phantom. And then I'm assuming his brother Keith Asmussen, the Asmussen family, big into the Kentucky Derby. Jockey Keith Asmussen, this is his first Derby, riding Just Steel. Another guy I'm thinking probably won't win. Going to belong to Brian Jones, another guy who definitely won't win our fantasy league. So Brian Jones, you are Just Steel's owner at 20 to 1 odds. Another 20 to 1 odds horse, Mystic Dan. What a name that is. I'm kind of hoping I get this one. Another bay-colored Kentucky horse. Pretty consistent theme there. Makes you wonder a little bit. Sire, Golden Sense. Dam is Ma'am. A homebred horse, Mystic Dan, raised by Lance Gasaway and the Gasaway family of 4G Racing. Trainer Kenny McPeak, 0 for 9 in the Derby. And then jockey Brian Hernandez Jr., 0 for 4 in the Derby. Hoping to get their first win here. Let's see who has Mystic Dan this year. Hayden Henningsen. Hey, Dan Henningsen. Mystic Dan, very fitting for Hayden there. He's going to have a 20 to 1 horse. I believe it's the second to last of our 20 to 1 horses. But Mystic Dan, you belong to Hayden. Dornoch. Another 20 to 1 horse, bay-colored Kentucky. You could have guessed that. Sire, Good Magic. Dan Puka could be a sign for whoever gets this horse that you're going to be taking Puka somewhere in those first couple rounds. It seems like that might have to be the case. Price tag $325,000. Again, the 2022 Keeneland September yearling sale. I say next time there's a Keeneland September yearling sale, we're going and we're finding ourselves a horse. Owners, West Paces Racing, Larry Connolly. Trainer, Danny Gargan, 0 for 1 in the Derby. Finished 14th with tax in 2019. And then Lewis Sade, 0 for 10 in the Derby. I would not be putting my money on Dornoch. And I would also not be putting my money on Jordan Cole to win a fantasy championship in time soon. We know he's a relic of the past in the modern post-median era. We know Jordan has 0 championships, and that's all I really take into account. So Jordan, you will have Dornoch at 20 to 1. Into our 10 to 1 horses, we have Forever Young. This horse, a Japanese horse. How about that? Sire is Real Steel, and the dam is Forever Darling. Very specific price for this horse is that the Japan Horse Racing Association Select Yearling and Foal Sale of 2022, $720,603 by Susumu Fajita. It's his first Derby along with trainer Yoshito Yahagi and jockey Ryusei Sakai. So full-on Japanese crew. Let's see who's joining the Japanese. It will be Matt Royer. How fitting. We know Matt Royer recently visited Japan. This could be a sign of good things to come. Forever young Matt Royer, the Japanese first pick. Possible. Up next, Just a Touch at 10-1. Another getting back to those bay-colored Kentucky horses. Sire Justify, Damn Touch and Beauty, a $300,000 horse. Different sale. Usually we've been seeing a lot of the 2022 Nylander sale, a lot of horses from there. But this is an Ocala breeder spring sale of 2-year-olds in training. So a very young horse. Very young. I don't know typically how old the horses in these races are, but Just a Touch seems to be like 3 years old or something. Qatar Racing, that's kind of weird. Sheikh Fahad Al Thani, definitely don't trust this horse. Trainer Brad Cox, 1-for-9 in the Derby, and then jockey Florence Rowe, 1-for-7 in the Derby. However, both of them did it together, and that was in the 2019 disqualification of another horse that got them that victory. So something to watch for there, a little shady stuff, but Just a Touch, your league member will be me. That's kind of weird. I used to race for Qatar Racing. That's pretty freaky. So I'll have Just a Touch at 10-1. Hopefully some good luck from my brothers in the Middle East. Catching Freedom, an 8-1 horse, a dark bay brown horse. So this is the darkest horse in the race. Bred in Kentucky, Sire Gunrunner, Damn Heavenly Love. $2.3 million. Holy shit. Somebody paid $2.3 million for this horse. It was Mrs. John Magner. That raises some alarms. So Mrs. John paid $2.3 million for this horse and has Chad Brown training it and jockey Tyler Gaffalione, both who are a combined 0-13 in the Derby. But Mrs. John spent some money for Tommy Hilgardner to ride Catching Freedom into the draft. So Tommy, you will have Catching Freedom at 8-1 along with Mrs. John. Our second to last horse, 2 guys left, Sierra Leone. So this will be either Marcus or, what am I missing? Marcus or Blake will get this horse. It is another dark horse, bred in Kentucky. Gunrunner and Heavenly Love are the good. All right, so this may have been a copy of it. I don't know, or maybe Miss John owns this horse too. Either way, though, Sierra Leone is gonna be Blake's horse. So Blake, you will have Sierra Leone at 3-1. I'm not sure. So we saw Catching Freedom was Mrs. John as well. Maybe she bought both these horses, or I didn't just get the information right. I don't know. But either way, Blake, you will have Sierra Leone at 3-1. And lastly, that means Fierceness. Marcus, needing all the help he can get to get that #1 pick, will be Fierceness, a bay-colored horse out of Kentucky, Sire City of Light, Damn Nonable Ella, and a homebred horse from Mike Rapoli and the Rapoli family, who is 0-7 in the Derby, but they have an experienced jockey, and I think that's what's taken this horse to such high odds. John Velasquez, who's 3-25 in the Derby, hoping to add his 4th, and he will be Marcus's in the sweepstakes for Garrett Wilson. So either way, I think Marcus is probably going to go with Garrett Wilson if he does get that first pick. But I have a feeling if fate works out the way I think it will, we could see this horse finishing up around that 11th spot. That's going to wrap up our 2024 Win the Week Fantasy Football League Kentucky Derby Draft Lottery Selection Show. Thank you for joining me tonight, and hopefully some of you may have a chance at hoisting our beautiful trophy this time next year. Thank you.